Hey, welcome back, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab, in the books, what I do for you. This is Let's Getting Better. Let's go. I got some good stuff for you. Let's get this party started. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tuning into receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinking mission. And that's what I'm on. Is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. You see where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I ask the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself. And to my yacht be true. We're still rocking with the Siren Resurrection myth. We're getting down to the end and the plot that we need to understand and know about for ourselves. So, right thinkers, let's talk about self-mastery is when Heru, you, defeat Set, your ego self. Okay? Let's talk about that. Heru gaining rulership is you knowing thyself. Okay? That's the goal for all us human beings, us spiritual beings who have a human experience. The human experience is to get to know thyself. Let's go. Heru, again, is you. Eventually regains what? Rulership of what? Himself, aka Egypt. Egypt is your physical body, and your lower nature is below the waist, upper nature is the chest up. Alright? So now he gains control, rulership over himself. And so now he thereby did what? He redeemed his father's killer, so to speak. Okay? In so doing, this for yourself, Heru reestablished what? The correct position of the divine, aka Asar, and achieve what? Self-control over the elements of his lower self and symbolized by what? Which is symbolized by his Set, which represents anger. What else you got? You got anger, hate, greed, lust, unrest, and a whole bunch of other stuff that go with that negative connotation or frame of mind. When you learn to eradicate all those things out of your personality, you're a better person. Why? Those are negative things that make you not a good person. Remembering the pieces of a song is really referred to what? Your memory of what? Of your consciousness, or the what? Integration of your personality again. Good in, bad out. And of your, if you are as an aspirant, what? You being now reintegrated to what? A degree where what? Where the true self, you, is what? Finally discovered. Hence, know thyself. But it's the work that you had to put in to make that possible. It's all done for self, and every individual had that right. Moving on. That's the equality right there. We all have the same starting line coming out. Now, an ordinary human being, you don't want to be ordinary. I told my son, if you go to school and get C's and D's, that's ordinary. That means you just there getting by. You ain't putting forth no effort. You ain't really doing nothing extraordinary. So if you get A's and B's, that means at least you're excelling at what you're learning. and it will serve you well. Trust me, in life. If you just want to be ordinary, then you just going to settle. But for an ordinary human being is what? They are not aware. That's what the difference. Watch this. In his or her true nature. Why? Because they are constantly in a lazy state of mind. They worry or they're preoccupied over some thoughts about what? Either the past, right now that ain't happened, or more so the future that ain't even happened. When you live in that state of mind, you're never going to be at peace. You're never going to have rest. Okay, mentally, your mind is all over the place. It's never going to be at rest. So when the thoughts, there you go, of all this stuff that you got going on, and when your thoughts are eventually recognized to be what? Merely waves and passing thoughts of the ocean of your consciousness, you ain't got to act on every thought that comes to mind. You have to learn that. And your mind, watch this, could become calm if you stop riding every thought that comes through it. Some just let them go. Okay, that's what meditation does. Cleans out the garbage, the useless thoughts that the subconscious picks up. Flush that stuff out, and what? Keep your cup empty daily for God to put something in it. That's the concept. And when your mind is calm through what? Daily practice of what? Right thinking philosophy, or we know it as yoga of wisdom and daily meditation. That's what it is. I just call it right thinking philosophy because that's what I practice. That's what I master. I call it what I want. As my man told him, Nicky Bars told him, look, mine is what when you take and do something, you can call it something else, but don't call it mine. It ain't the same thing. Moving on. When you get self-knowledge that you have, you can call it what you want. Right thinking. If you master right thinking philosophy, you can call it whatever you want. Why? It's yours. I'm giving it to you. You got the right to control whatever you want. Just do it right. Moving on. Okay. But your mind assumes it's what? It's unruffled state, calm, peaceful state where you can think clearly, positive. In that state of mind, which then will what? Able to produce clear image. The third eye, the vision from within, is clear now. Why? It ain't no cloud with a bunch of nonsense. That's why. And watch this. You get a clear image of what? Your true self. This is the redemption and what they call resurrection or born again of our true self. And it is truly the resurrection referred to by what? The Osirian mystery and the Christian Gnostic mysticism. Before there was Christians, there was Gnostic Christians, and those were the direct followers of the Egyptian philosophical concepts. They just called themselves Christians because that was the philosophy that they practiced. But there was Gnostic Christians, meaning they knew, they didn't believe. And watch this. This is about to get good. I got this underlined and highlighted, so whenever I see that, I know I'm about to get into something that I'm going to have fun with. So let's go. According to the Egyptian mystery system that we practice, and the followed us was the Christian Gnostics mysticism, and what? It does not refer, pay attention, to the resurrection of the physical body. I've been arguing this point for a long time, and here we go. It does not refer to the resurrection of the physical body. This body, once it go down, it ain't coming back up. I'm an Egyptian mystery system man. They got a few things wrong, and I can say that why, because I practiced, I know. They thought the spirit was going to come back to the body. Not so much. Why? The body is done. The physical body is going back to the minerals that which make it up. Go understand that. That's what they tell you. Body to earth. It ain't leaving. Spirit back to heaven, which to come. That means the spirit is divine. In order for it to go back to its maker, it's got to elevate. And if you keep your spirit heavy with nonsense and physical concepts, you're going to still be here in the flesh. When it dies, you're going to get reincarnated. Why? Because the spirit going to pass the test of judgment when it should be heart, and your heart should be light as a feather. And with a whole bunch of nonsense, it definitely won't. That's why the daily practice of purification of the heart, living right, doing right, selfless acts, will get you what? A light, purified heart. Moving on. You can do that for yourself. Moving on. And it's not a physical, let's get back to the lesson, sorry. But The resurrection is not a physical body resurrection as asserted. Here we go. This is the part I want to get you to. I'll take you all that to get you right here. Which is asserted by who? Your Orthodox Roman theologians, meaning Roman Catholics, who wrote the Bible, who tell you all the stuff that they believe, which ain't none of it true, right, or on point. Why? They misunderstood the most important part. If you would tell me Jesus died, okay, no problem. Put him on, yeah. Laid him out, yeah. Put him in the ground or put him in the tomb and sealed it. And then 3 days later, he rose physically. Modern physics tell us that now, so I ain't got to have that argument. We knew that back then. That was just wrong. Why? You misinterpret the whole mythological concept. It's a metaphor for the spirit that will rise up and go to the Father, not the whole damn body gonna sit at the right hand. Come on, man. Yeah, I couldn't wait to get that out. That's why I don't do religion. Okay? Because those who gave it to you don't know what the hell they was talking about. I give you our ancient ancestors' philosophy. Y'all bitching about that, excuse me, but I'm annoyed. Why? Y'all believe in a lie. I've been telling you that since the beginning. I'm giving you the truth. You don't want to hear nothing I got to say. Moving on. But you keep believing that. And when at Judgment Day, you're going to wish you had to listen to Brother Wright. Your brother was on point. Yeah, you think? But at Judgment Day ain't the day to find out that I was right and you wasn't. Moving on. Again, I don't want to get that out. But, however, it is always, however, a resurrection in what? Consciousness, the mind, which is to what? Occur when? You ready? While one is alive and existent in the physical body and not at some bodily resurrection at the end of your life in some future Armageddon. What the hell is that? Don't know, don't care, but I got it right here. I'm going to read it. I don't have a clue, but let's go through this right quick. The Christians, the Roman Catholics, says that you're going to have a bodily resurrection and you're going to go sit at the right hand of the Father. And this is that comes at the time of future Armageddon, which is what? The term Armageddon. Here we go. Now I might get some lesson from here. The term Armageddon comes from the Hebrew term Har, H-A-R, Megiddo, M-E-G-I-D-D-O, or the hill of Megiddo. Who the hell is he? Moving on. I'm just asking again. When I ask, I'm asking because I don't know. When I'm talking and speaking, I'm talking what I know. When I'm asking, I'm letting you know. I don't know. That's what I'm asking. Not to be facetious or sarcastic. I'm a student of this biblical philosophies. Now, in the Bible, here we go. In the Bible, Revelations 16:16, the hill of Megiddo is the place where the final battle between the forces of God, whoever they are, and the demonic kings of the earth, whoever they are, what's going to happen? They will be fought at the end of the world. You better be glad I wasn't in that class when they was giving this out, because I did go to the principal's office. They're going to throw me out. Because I'm about to raise some fuss up in this piece. I'm about to do like Malcolm did the chapel priest in prison. I'm about to rip you a new one, dog. Because I'm about to tear this apart. With what? Logic and reasoning and just understanding of common sense. I'm not going to believe what you're telling me. How about that? I want to prove it. If you can't, there's no use for me to even listen to what you're saying. Moving on. That's why I don't do religions. The final fight. What the? Boy, I was freaking out. I said, I was going to have my way, but I said, no, I think better of it. I'll give you a break, but I just want to give you a quick understanding. If you tell me something that can't be proven, I'm not going to be interested. Moving on. Especially if you tell me it really happened. Oh, now you... Really? This is where I get better. Let's go. But this remembrance of what is the main objective. Remember of what? Of the mystery of life, rituals and practices of what? The religion of what? Asar and Aset. We had this as a way of life. We laid it out for you to get you understanding. We didn't want you to believe a damn thing. We laid it out for you, and you can make your own decision to be Heru, which is your best you. We laid it out for you. Now, through what? How could that happen? I'm about to tell you. With daily practice of right thinking philosophy, aka Mayat, and virtuous, selfless service, righteous actions, and what? The daily constant remembrance. My man just said this morning, my brother Shaw, he preaches the concept. Keep God on, man, he is God conscious. I ain't got a problem with a God conscious brother. He's God conscious, he ain't God fanatic. It's two different things. I know the difference between the two. So that's the difference. And remembrance, what? Conscious. I tell you, I'm God conscious. I got God in my mind all the time. I got my mind on God all the time. That don't make me what? Nothing other than woke. Hello? Conscious of who? My higher self, who I am in the flesh. And through daily practice, watch this. And what happened? Constant remembrance of what? The divine essence of what? Your individual self as being what? One with God or Asar. This is why you change the name. The aspirin is gradually led to what? An identification of what? Being one with the Asar, or what they call the all-encompassing and the transcendental self, higher self. And what happens? This process in which it is involves what? Identification of the right thinker or the aspirant with who? With the divine through what? Daily practice, ritual offerings to what? The divine. Y'all call it prayer, ritual, whatever it is, okay? I got my altar. And daily, watch this, divine is what? Excuse me. Ritual offerings to the divine daily as the self, and to what? Your personal reference. Whatever God, however you call them, that's yours, of the individual self. You can call them, think of them, whatever you want, but understand it as the divine as well as what? Yourself. So in other words, this is the good part. Pay attention. This aspirant, which is you, right thinkers, is treated himself or herself as divinity, meaning you know you and God are one, who has been what? Dismembered in the physical concept, mentally concept, not physical, and who is what? Now reconstituting him or herself through what? Through order, and to regain what? Your primordial state of consciousness, meaning through meditation, daily practice, your mind will become clear and you start to see yourself for who you really are. And watch this, your name of the aspirant will what? Be changed, just like your actions, as an understanding and a transformation that you, the aspirant, as of all things, is now what? You're a physical manifestation of the divine self, which you recognize within yourself. And since all of the divine selves, then all is what? Named Asar. P-Funk. Asar, whatever your name is. You achieve that. Like anything else, you don't just get a title, you earn it. You achieve it. One more paragraph, and I'm going to touch you loose. I got two more things I want to get out to you, but I'm going to give you the first one now. In our ancient Egyptian pyramid text, where I dwell, the entire subject of what? The rituals that carried out by the aspirant, you, daily involves what? Accepting the ritual offerings. And at that time, it was to be loaves of bread, cakes, wine, beer, and other articles, which represented the eye. There we go. Of what? Intuitional vision. Put a pin right there. I tell you, with the third eye open vision, you can see what they're not looking at. You see souls, you see spirits, you see agendas, you see a whole bunch of stuff that a lot of people ain't paying attention to. That's intuitional vision. That's why it represented by the eye. There's a whole bunch of stuff that go with that, and I love all of them. Why? Because this eye represents intuitional knowledge, meaning you know of yourself, which is what? All powerful. If you know what you know and who you know and why you know it, you become all powerful. What? You have all knowledge. of self. Not of everything. I don't need to know about everything. I do need to master self. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. That's what you want. All the other stuff, knock yourself out. The aspirant, right thinker, is what? Continuously admonished to what? To receive the I and what? And to consume it as what? The essence of who? Heru, the higher you, and Asar, which y'all become one, and to be thereby assume his or her true nature. Watch this. The true nature in much the same way, you ready? That the Christian host is used as what? The medium to what? Commune with who? The divine in the form of who? Christ. Heru, Christ, you, me, same thing. Same person, same everything except the name. But it all means the same thing. That's why I keep explaining to you. I understand religion a lot better than most people who follow it. And I still don't follow it. In this sense, understand this. Christians, no different. If you live it, follow it, and you'll be rewarded for just that. Moving on. But now, in this sense, the ritual, you ready for this? That y'all practice every first Sunday? The Eucharist. The Eucharist represents what? The open performance of the Asarian mystery. That's where it comes from. And for the masses of your Christians all over the world. And y'all still practice it to this day. And how many of y'all know where it comes from? Don't care. Oh, I just live. Moving on. However, that's my favorite word. However, is what? The true import of said ritual is to be understood and then practiced. Not the other way around. Misunderstood and still practiced. The mystery play that they had to exhibit it, they had plays. Okay, the mystery play of the Asarian resurrection refers to what? A mystical reenactment that what? That relates to a mystical transformation that all those who do the thing that was said, laid out, practicing will happen. That happens naturally. That what is to occur where? Within the innermost heart of who? Of all individuals, as opposed to what? Just a ritual to be practiced in what? And out of custom of social duty. We go to church. People every Sunday. I go to church every week. I'm not going there because, no, I go to get a message from a God-fearing man who giving me information that I think I can use. Simple as that. Again. And I go there to learn, not to criticize, critique, or do that other nonsense. I go to fellowship, understand it, and it's a lesson for me. A student. I confer with my pastor every week that he get a lesson. I confer to find out if I got the right message. How about that? Moving on. So I don't just go to church to come go to church. No, I go for a reason. So that knowledge mixed with what I got. Okay. He saved me the trouble of studying. He give it to me where I can learn that lesson. Got it. Put in my pocket. Why? Now I got biblical concepts and knowledge that I've been learning for the last 10 years. Yeah, that long. Moving on. It is the mystical union. That's what I'm trying to get you. I don't give a damn what religion you are. The mystical union is you and God becoming one. You becoming conscious of that fact. That's my goal for all right thinkers. I don't care what religion you practice, because religion ain't going to do that for you. Now, the mystical union with God, the divine, which bestows what? The true knowledge, again, self-knowledge of the self. And it is this knowledge which the sages of our ancient Egypt, as well as their Gnostic descendants who practiced Gnostic Christianity, who created the Gnostic Christian Gospels, were trying to convey what? This form of knowledge. Gnosis, to know God, not that belief nonsense that they were buying y'all with. That's why they went up into the hills. Why? Because the powers that be wasn't having their philosophy. They wanted to interject theirs, and that's where we at right now with theirs. I don't want theirs. That's what I'm doing religion. again. And they wanted to institute this knowledge of what? Gnosticism is the mystical experience itself, meaning you and God become one through the daily practice and the rituals that we set forth, as opposed to what? The intellectual knowledge, which everybody claims scholarly knowledge, could care less about that nonsense, which can be found in what? Scriptures or rituals. Running around quoting scripture don't mean jack. Therefore, it is this mystical experience again. Mystical means it's only a mystery for those who don't know. It's a perfect personal thing for you and your higher self. This mystical experience of what? The union with who? With God, which is at the heart of all mystery, so-called religions and mystery systems, but more importantly, of yoga philosophies. We want you to know God with the what? Mystical experience from daily practice and living right. It will happen on its own. We know that. That's the lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, I'm not done. You know the deal. I'm looking at the clock, so I'm going to give you a little time to get yourself together. I'm going to be right back. But in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100. Me, 100 minus a day. So I never know that my right thinkers have passed away. And if you're paying attention, download me one of them books. I got 3 book choices that go on to next. We about to finish this one. I'll be right back.